Before we get into this video, just like yesterday, I need a favour from you guys. Basically, on the community page, I need you to put a question in for my birthday Q&A. That's going to be next Wednesday, because that's when my birthday is. And then I will answer your questions. Now, ask as many questions as you want, and it doesn't even have to be football related, but go on the community page, and it'll be the last thing that's posted there. I need as many questions as possible for that Q&A. And if you're part of the community, you get to ask me anything you want. And I might answer it to an extent. Alright, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. And today we are talking about Kyle Walker-Peters once again. It's been a very slow news day, once again, at West Ham, but it's also been hard the past couple of days to actually talk about anything to do with West Ham. That's why I did the throwback video yesterday, because there was literally nothing to talk about. And there's still nothing to talk about today. Now, obviously, the John Duran deal is going to accelerate after the Copa America, because that makes sense. They're in the final. He probably won't start. He might get minutes. But in general, there hasn't been any news. There hasn't been any news. Now, people are trying to believe this TalkSport report about Southampton wanting 10 million and Flint Downs for Kyle Walker-Peters. But I think West Ham need to move on. I think this is a game of chess that Southampton are going to be very stubborn on. And I get it, because they want Flint Downs that badly. But they don't really have much of a leg to stand on, and they're probably going to lose Kyle Walker's on a free unless another club comes sweeping in for him. My thing is, I think another club will come in and get him, and Southampton are not going to have much of a leg to stand on. They're clearly expecting Walker-Peters to leave because of the signing of Sugawara from, I think it was AZ Alkmaar. I think they signed him from, it was in the Dutch league that they signed him. So they're clearly expecting him to leave. They've already signed his replacement. But I think they keep him for a year anyway. He's not going to throw his toys on the pro about not moving. Obviously, he had already agreed personal terms like a couple of weeks ago. And the only other right back on the list, as we discussed the other day, was Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who we've discussed the pros and cons of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. The pros and cons are both very high. Like, his pros are extremely high, and his cons are extremely high. So he's one of them players, that on his day type players, that can give you a masterclass or a 0 out of 10. But I think West Ham need to move on from Kyle Walker-Peters as a right-back option. The reason why is, as much as it's my ideal option as a fan and from a lookout outwards, we need to just use this scouting that we have to find someone else. Someone that suits the system better than Wan-Bissaka, and obviously someone that can attack as good as, Walker-Peters and defend as good. Like, just a balanced right-back that suits Lopetegui's system. I said this a few weeks ago about how integral Lopetegui's system, fullbacks are to a Lopetegui system. And to be honest with you, I haven't really been impressed, apart from Kyle Walker-Peters, the right-back targets, like obviously Wan-Bissaka and stuff. But it wouldn't really make any sense. Like, they like to hug the touchline. So it wouldn't really benefit anyone. Imagine Wan-Bissaka hugging a touchline and putting a cross in, and it's not beating the first man anyway. So that's what doesn't make sense to me. Now, I'm sure there's right-backs in French leagues or the Dutch league or the Italian league or whatever other league. It could be the Championship. I watch the Championship a lot. I don't really know many good up-and-coming right-backs that we could possibly get that would be good enough for the Premier League. But right-back needs to be solved. We don't even have a right-back for pre-season because obviously Johnson left and Soufal's on a break because he was in the Euros. So he's going to come back late as well. But Soufal can't be our only right-back option. Otherwise, we're going to have to shift Mavropanos up there at times. And Mavropanos, I know you can strike a ball as a centre-back, but he's not an attacking full-back, is he? He's a ball-playing centre-back. But that's the thing, like, you got to use your scouting. Because sometimes I just want to play a game of chess. And I get it. Because they want Flynn Downs badly. We've discussed Flynn Downs many times already since the season has ended, from when they won in the playoffs against Leeds. And how much of a relationship Flynn Downs and Russell Martin have. Because obviously Flynn Downs was at Swansea under Russell Martin when we bought him. Now, Flynn Downs seems to be happy, seems to be fine at West Ham. But I'm sure he wants to play as well. Now, with Alvarez injured, he might He might even be put out there to start, even though Alvarez is probably liked by Lopetegui. He'll definitely start in pre-season. And if he stays here, he might be here for the first few games. Now, what we can't do, we can't let Flynn Downs go to Southampton without getting Kyle Walker-Peters back. I think we've almost made ourselves stronger and weaker in this situation with this Flynn Downs, Kyle Walker-Peters thing. Because at least down there's a benefit from this. For me, just putting Flynn Downs out there to Southampton for no reason. Well, not for no reason, but like, just sell him and then just have a replacement. It wasn't really good enough for me. I remember saying when Ben Johnson left, if Southampton want to do business, I would like Kyle Walker-Peters, please. And then we got linked to Kyle Walker-Peters. But it just made so much sense, like, in the grand scheme of things. And I've been raving about Kyle Walker-Peters. And I'm sure we can probably get him for a higher price than they're charging, but we don't like to overpay for players, even though we're paying 40 million for Duran probably, and we paid 40 million for Kilman, even though that was a bit of a different situation due to the whole Maidenhead thing. But if we don't include Flynn Downs in the deal, they're probably not going to accept any bid. But I'm sure we can test them and just slightly overpay. Even if he is on 1 year left on his contract, I wouldn't mind overpaying for Kyle Walker-Peters, purely for the reason this is a very needed position. This is a priority position. Even if Johnson was to stay, I would still be saying right back, even though we wouldn't be signing a right back. And I wouldn't like the fact that our fullback options were the exact same as last year. That would have been a howler from us. I'll be completely real. You couldn't go into the next season having Cresswell, Emerson, Walker, like Johnson and Soufal as your fullback options. Yes, the system and coaching could make it different. And maybe we'll see a better Vladimir Soufal this season. But the guy's getting on. And the guy didn't impress me last season. People are going to look at, the assists, but there was a lot of times where he was giving the ball away. A lot of times where he was putting bad crosses in. A lot of the time where he was just doing stupid passes for no reason. And it's very easy to play against Vladimir Soufal by just pressing him onto his left foot because he would just go backwards. And he would destroy the whole play. Doesn't want to use his left foot. And when he does, he act like he's never used his left foot before. So we need a right back, guys. But let me know what you think in the comments below. As I said, go to my community page and drop as many questions as you want. Non-football related, football related, it could be anything. And I might answer them on the Q&A on Wednesday. I'm going to be live on that day, and I'm going to do an upload on that day as well for my birthday and stuff like that. I don't actually know when I can go live and all that, but we'll get to that next Wednesday. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you're new. Social medias are in the description if you want to follow me. The email for the inquiries, we're trying to hit 500 subscribers before the end of the year, so you can make that happen. That'll be great. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.